Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something kind of wild. A cola that's being touted as healthy. Yeah, so we're talking about Milaf Cola.
Milaf Cola?
A new date-based soft drink.
Really?
Yeah, it just launched at the Riyadh Date Festival in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
We've got some news articles and a whole bunch of social media posts to unpack here.
Sounds interesting.
So let's just jump right in.
Okay.
So imagine this,
Oh, yeah.
a world where your cola craving could actually be good for you.
Wow. That's definitely an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And what makes it even more fascinating is who's behind it.
Okay.
This isn't just some small startup
Right.
trying to break into the market.
Right.
Milaf Cola is the brainchild of Thirath Al Madina.
Okay.
It's a company backed by the Saudi Ministry of Agriculture
Wow.
and a subsidiary of the Public Investment Fund,
So,
which is essentially
yeah.
Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund.
Okay, so this is a pretty big deal then.
Yeah. The Saudi government is serious about this date-based cola.
Absolutely.
Wow.
The CEO of Thirath Al Madina,
Okay.
Bander Al Khattani,
Hmm?
has been very vocal about their goals.
Okay.
They're not just trying to create a new drink.
Right.
They're aiming to completely revolutionize the way people consume dates.
That's a tall order.
Yeah.
Especially since most people probably think of dates as a snack.
Right.
Not something you'd find in a soda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where the challenge lies.
Right.
Dates are incredibly nutritious,
Yeah.
packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber.
Mm-hmm.
They're often referred to as a superfood,
Yeah.
which is a stark contrast.
Huge contrast.
Yeah, to the reputation of traditional sodas,
Right.
which are often loaded with sugar and empty calories.
So it's like they're trying to merge the health food world
Yeah,
with like the indulgence of a sugary drink.
precisely.
Yeah.
It's a bold move,
Hmm.
and it's definitely generating a lot of buzz.
Yeah. One article we came across mentioned that people at the Riyadh Date Festival were actually really impressed with the taste.
Oh, wow.
They liked that it was a healthier option,
Right.
but they also genuinely enjoyed the flavor.
Well, that's promising.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what exactly does eco-friendly and international food safety standards actually mean in this context?
Good question.
Yeah.
It seems that Milaf Cola is really emphasizing quality and sustainability.
Okay.
While we don't have specifics yet,
Okay.
adhering to international food safety standards likely means they're aiming for certifications like ISO 22000,
Oh, okay.
which sets requirements for a food safety management system.
Okay.
This would involve things like rigorous hygiene practices, traceability of ingredients,
Okay.
and a focus on preventing contamination.
So they're not cutting corners just because they're using dates.
Right.
Okay.
And as for the eco-friendly angle,
Yeah.
they're sourcing their dates locally within Saudi Arabia, which cuts down on transportation emissions.
Makes sense.
It also aligns with the country's broader vision of promoting local products and reducing reliance on imports.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this Milaf Cola launch is about more than just a new drink.
Yeah.
It's tied to Saudi Arabia's economic goals as well. I did notice some chatter online about whether it would be available outside of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you think the chances are of this going global?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
A lot of people are wondering the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
One social media comment even specifically asked if it would be available in Bahrain.
Interesting.
To answer your question, it's hard to say for sure.
Okay.
But Thirath Al Madina's ambitions seem pretty clear.
Okay.
They've stated that they want to change how dates are consumed worldwide.
Wow.
And this quote from a company spokesperson really caught my eye.
Okay.
Milaf Cola is just the beginning.
Just the beginning. That definitely makes it sound like they have bigger plans in store.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This whole venture seems carefully calculated. If we think about the bigger picture,
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia has been actively working to diversify its economy beyond oil.
Right.
The Public Investment Fund, which backs Thirath Al Madina,
Right.
plays a major role in that strategy.
Okay.
They're investing in a wide range of sectors, from tourism to technology.
So Milaf Cola could be a way for them to showcase Saudi innovation and its products on a global stage.
It's a chance to highlight a traditional ingredient like dates in a modern, appealing way.
Yeah.
And if they can successfully market it internationally, it could be a big win for the Saudi economy.
It's definitely a fascinating case study.
Yeah.
So let's delve into what people are actually saying about it. Yeah. You mentioned social media chatter.
Yeah.
What kind of reactions are we seeing?
Well, then you can imagine there's a mix of everything. Some people are super excited about the idea of a healthy cola.
Okay.
And eager to try it.
Makes sense.
Others are skeptical about the taste.
Yeah.
Wondering if it'll actually live up to the hype.
I'm guessing there are some comparisons to Coke and Pepsi, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's already a debate brewing online about whether it can compete with the established giants of the soda world.
Yeah.
Some are even drawing parallels to the rise of oat milk, which was initially seen as a niche product, but has now become mainstream.
It makes you wonder if the big soda companies are paying attention to this.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
If Milaf Cola starts gaining traction, especially in international markets, it could force them to rethink their own strategies.
Yeah.
And maybe even explore healthier alternatives themselves.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like David versus Goliath?
Yeah.
A date-based cola challenging the titans of the beverage industry.
Right.
But even beyond the potential for competition, I'm curious about how Milaf Cola might impact the perception of dates themselves. Will this change how people view this ancient fruit?
That's a really intriguing question.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Many people in the Western world might only encounter dates in specific contexts.
Right.
Like a cheese board or a holiday food cake.
Yeah.
Milaf Cola could be a way to introduce dates to a broader audience.
Right.
And showcase their versatility.
I like that.
It could even spark a culinary trend.
Oh, wow.
With chefs and food enthusiasts experimenting with new and innovative ways to incorporate dates into their dishes.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm picturing date smoothies, date-infused salad dressings.
Right.
Even date-based desserts beyond the traditional sticky toffee pudding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The possibilities are pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But of course, there are challenges too.
Right.
One of the biggest hurdles they'll need to overcome is the potential consumer perception that dates are just too sweet or sticky to be enjoyable in a beverage.
Yeah. I can see how some people might be hesitant about that.
Yeah.
They might associate dates with a very specific flavor profile.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily scream refreshing beverage.
That's right.
Yeah.
So a lot will depend on how well Milaf Cola manages to balance the sweetness of the dates with other flavors. They'll need to create a taste that's appealing to a wide range of palates.
Yeah.
Not just those who already love dates.
And what about the health-conscious market?
Yeah.
We talked about how dates are naturally nutritious, but there's a lot of concern these days about added sugar, even in drinks that are marketed as healthy.
Right.
Do we know anything about the sugar content of Milaf Cola?
That's a key piece of information that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they address that aspect.
Right.
They could opt for a lower sugar formulation.
Yeah.
Or even offer a sugar-free version to appeal to those who are watching their sugar intake.
I think that would be a smart move. Especially given the growing demand for low sugar and sugar-free options in the beverage industry.
Right.
People are becoming more aware of the potential health risks associated with excessive sugar consumption.
Yeah.
So any brand that wants to position itself as healthy needs to take that into account.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about sugar content. Consumers are also paying attention to things like artificial sweeteners.
Right.
Additives.
Okay.
And overall ingredient transparency.
Okay.
Milaf Cola could really differentiate itself by using natural ingredients and avoiding any artificial additives.
Speaking of natural ingredients,
do
we know anything about the other ingredients they're using besides dates? Are there any secret formulas or special spices involved?
That's another detail that's still under wraps.
Really?
They haven't released a full ingredient list yet, which is probably a strategic move to build anticipation and keep people guessing. It wouldn't surprise me if they've incorporated some traditional Middle Eastern spices or botanicals to create a unique flavor profile.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
It would definitely add to the authenticity.
Right.
And tie back to the cultural heritage of dates in the region. Yeah. And let's not forget about the packaging. What kind of image are they trying to project with the design of the Milaf Cola can?
From the images we've seen, The branding seems to strike a balance between modern and traditional elements.
Okay.
They're using a sleek, minimalist design with bold colors.
Okay.
But they've also incorporated imagery of date palms and other traditional motifs.
It sounds like they're trying to appeal to a global audience while still staying true to their roots.
It is a delicate balance.
Yeah.
They need to create a brand that feels both familiar and exotic, something that resonates with people from different cultures and backgrounds.
Right.
And of course, all of this needs to happen while navigating the complexities of the global beverage market.
Speaking of which, what are some of the key challenges they might face if they do decide to expand internationally?
Well, first and foremost, they'll be up against some fierce competition.
Right.
The global soda market is dominated by a handful of major players with massive distribution networks and marketing budgets.
Yeah.
Breaking into that market is no easy feat.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get shelf space and mind share when you're competing with brands that have been around for decades and are deeply ingrained in consumer habits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll need to come up with some creative marketing strategies to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
They'll also need to ensure they have the production capacity and distribution channels in place to meet demand if they do start gaining traction in new markets.
And what about cultural nuances? Dates hold a significant place in Middle Eastern culture, but that might not be the case in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
How will they adapt their messaging to resonate with the different cultural sensibilities?
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
They can't simply assume that what works in Saudi Arabia will automatically translate to other markets.
Yeah.
They'll need to conduct thorough market research to understand consumer preferences, cultural norms, and dietary habits in each target market.
It sounds like they have a lot of work ahead of them.
Yeah.
If they want to make Milaf Cola a global success story.
Yeah.
But it's also an incredibly exciting opportunity to introduce the world to a new flavor.
Yeah.
And challenge the status quo in the beverage industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the drink itself.
Right.
It's about the potential ripple effects that this could have on the date industry as a whole.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a moment. How could the success of Milaf Cola impact date farmers and producers, both in Saudi Arabia and beyond?
Well, if the demand for dates increases as a result of this new beverage, it could lead to higher prices for date farmers. Potentially boosting their incomes and improving their livelihoods.
Wow.
It could also encourage innovation within the date industry itself.
What do you mean by that?
We might see more investment in research and development to create new date varieties.
Oh, wow.
Improve cultivation techniques or develop new processing methods to enhance the quality and versatility of dates.
Interesting.
It could even lead to the creation of entirely new date-based products.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So this one drink could potentially have a ripple effect that extends far beyond the beverage aisle.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole story so compelling. It's not just about a new cola. It's about the intersection of food, culture, economics, and innovation.
It really makes you think about the power of a single idea.
It does.
To spark change and create new possibilities.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it reminds us that sometimes the most unexpected innovations can come from looking at traditional ingredients in a new light.
Now, I don't know about you, but all this talk about dates and cola has made me thirsty.
Me too.
What do you say we take a little sip of something refreshing?
Okay.
And then come back to discuss what all of this means for our listeners. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
From the launch of Milaf Cola to its potential impact on the date industry.
Right.
And even Saudi Arabia's economic diversification efforts.
It's fascinating.
But what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's up to each individual to decide whether or not this date-based cola is something they want to try and how they interpret its significance.
Right. It's all about personal choice. But I think there are some broader takeaways here that go beyond just whether or not you like the taste of dates in your soda.
I agree.
For example.
Yeah.
What does the emergence of Milaf Cola tell us about the evolving consumer landscape and the demand for healthier beverage options?
It's a clear signal that people are becoming more discerning about what they consume.
Yeah.
They're not just looking for something that tastes good.
Right.
They're also seeking out products that align with their values.
Yeah.
and their desire for a healthier lifestyle.
Absolutely. And it's not just a trend among health nuts or fitness fanatics. It seems like there's a growing awareness across the board.
I think so.
About the potential downsides of sugary drinks.
Yeah.
And a desire to find alternatives that don't compromise on taste.
Precisely. And that's where I think Milaf Cola has the potential to make a real impact.
Okay.
It's not just another diet soda.
Right.
Or a zero-calorie option. That tries to mimic the taste of traditional colas.
Right.
It's something genuinely different.
Yeah.
A beverage that embraces the natural sweetness and nutritional benefits of dates.
It's kind of like they're saying, hey, you can have your cola and your health too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bold message.
It is.
And it remains to be seen whether it will resonate with consumers on a large scale.
Right. There's always an element of risk.
Yeah.
When you introduce something truly innovative, people can be hesitant to embrace change.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to something as ingrained in our culture as soda.
True, but I think the fact that a major company is investing in this idea speaks volumes.
I agree.
They've clearly done their research, and they believe there's a market for this kind of product.
And let's not forget about the cultural significance of dates.
Right.
In many parts of the world, dates are a staple food, deeply intertwined with tradition and heritage.
Right.
Milaf Cola has the potential to tap into that cultural richness and introduce dates to a wider audience in a way that feels both familiar and exciting.
It's like they're bridging the gap between ancient traditions and modern tastes.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the Middle East.
Right.
Dates are grown in many parts of the world, from California to North Africa.
Exactly.
The success of Milaf Cola could have a positive impact on date producers globally.
Yeah. It could create new economic opportunities.
Wow.
Stimulate innovation in the agricultural sector.
Okay.
And even contribute to sustainable development in date-producing regions.
So it's not just a drink.
No, it's not.
It's a potential catalyst for positive change on multiple levels.
Right.
That's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
It is, and it all goes back to the power of innovation.
Yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is one seemingly simple idea to shake things up and create a ripple effect that extends far beyond its initial point of origin.
I think that's a great note to end on.
I agree.
So to our listeners, we encourage you to keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Embrace curiosity.
Yeah.
And maybe even give Milaf Cola a try.
Yeah.
If you get the chance.
I think you should.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
I think so.
And who knows? Maybe you'll be inspired to create your own date-based concoction.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
They are.
Until next time.
Yes.
Stay thirsty for knowledge.
Stay thirsty.
And keep exploring the world of food and beverages.
Absolutely.
There's always something new and exciting to discover.